Well, hey there, YouTube. Petey Two Finger here, talking about tdap injection. So, if you're like me, you're an old middle-aged male guy who's avoided going to the doctor, and you're out of date on stuff like shots. So, then one day you find out you're going to be a grandfather, and you get this email or a phone call from your kid saying, "Hey, your diseased carcass, you're carrying around so much human feces and pus. Your mere presence in the same building with the kid is going to, kid's never going to have a chance. You're going to take the kid out. You're so ridden with bacteria and diseases, so you need to get up to date on your shots." So that means a flu shot and a tdap. The tdap is whooping cough, tetanus, and something else. I'll have to look it up. But so what you can expect is to wait. Bring a book, or if you're a quick reader, a couple of books, because you're going to be in the doctor's office for an incredibly long time. My wife had made an appointment, consecutive appointments. So we told the women who run the healthcare profession are the women who sit at the desks. Okay, they are the troll women. None shall pass. What you need to learn how to say is fiax. Fiax it over, because they're going to demand a referral, which you won't have. So you say, "Hey, honey, say something, bring a Starbucks, bring some chocolate. Don't come in there like I've got a 1:30 with Dr. Smith. You've got to come in and go Mondays and like do a whole thing and try to win them over." These women are professional C words. They are the worst of the worst. And if you're a white male, you're in for it. Now, the tdap injection can be painful. Like today, I couldn't lift my arm. When I woke up, wow, it woke me up, my arm, the pain. I had to go and actually take some pain medication. So, depending on kind of how fast you get the injection, this is what I would advise. Like I said, you can go to the mall, you can go to Walgreens, you can go to an alley to get your shots. I went to my regular doctor's office, and like I said, we got up because we had waited so long. We had another appointment, which the facility is massive. It's like a small village, and literally we would have to go out to the lot, a half-mile trek to the car, and then drive for a while, park, and go back in this massive facility hospital and see the other doctor who we had scheduled at a later time. So it's 2-in-1 visits, and they knew that. The person, the troll woman, none shall pass, said, "Oh, and you've got to be somewhere after this." Well, she was going spatial visit, spatial trip. They do funny voices back there because they have the power. They know they can withhold, they can make you late. And this particular woman didn't like me because my wife did the talking for me, and I'm a white male. And she saw through that and just didn't tell any of the nurses we were there and made me wait. No one's coming in, no one's coming out, nothing's going on. We're just waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting until finally I told my wife, "Well, we're going to leave and come back." Because I'm scheduled. We've got to be at the other appointment. I mean, what the heck? 20 minutes for something that takes literally 30 seconds, 2 shots. So my wife mentioned that, and then she told the nurse, and the nurse flipped out and started rushing. So the gist of that is, if there's some kind of rush going on with your nurse, what you need to say is, "I'm hypersensitive to shots, so can we do a slow shot?" And tell her you want the shot to take 30 seconds. They did a study on shots, a 10-second shot versus a 30-second shot. And I wish that the shot would have been 10 seconds. It was less than a second. It was whoop, and then whoop. She did them as fast as she could, threw the stuff up, and opened the door and said, "Okay, you can go." Like, hurried it up. And then this morning I wake up, and my arm feels like somebody hit me with a baseball bat. Now, I understand people are going to say that's normal for a tdap, but I still want my shots slow. And so this is what you have to expect is, if you have a real deep, intense burning and it starts scaring you, that comes on 2 to 4 days after you get the tdap, you need to see the doctor. You might have a reaction to it, which is really rare. But the normal thing is your arm is going to hurt really bad. It's going to feel like someone like Popeye or Bluto punched you or hit you with a bat in the arm. That's what you have to expect, and then that kind of goes away after a few days. So we can go ahead and take a look. Like if you look this up, there's all this stuff about tdap and how painful it is. The actual shot, how it leaves sore arm. How the only other shot that's worse for sore arm is the anthrax shot, which isn't typically given out to civilians. It's for military personnel. So looking at the tdap or DTP, it's a class of combination vaccines against 3 infectious diseases in humans: diphtheria, pertussis, which is whooping cough, and tetanus. The vaccine components include diphtheria, tetanus, and toxoids, and the whole cells of bacterium that cause pertussis. Now, if you look into it, it's kind of a shame that they do it this way because it doesn't really make sense and it makes the shot a lot worse than it needs to be. But it's not as bad as that anthrax shot, so man up, it's not that bad. But if you have a job where you're going to be using that arm, like they tend to do the flu shot on the right arm, which because it's not as bad. The flu shots, it hurts, but it's nothing compared to the tdap. So if you use your arms a lot at work, I would get the tdap shot done on a Friday. That way you have a couple of days. Or let your boss know you're going to have it done and put your arm in a sling. You know, do it on Thursday and then go into work and sling it. And you know, if you just work with a mouse, you'll be fine, and then you'll have the weekend off. You can baby yourself. But yeah, it's bothering the shit out of me right now. My pain meds wore off. And so I just wanted to make this video for any of you guys who have to get a tdap shot. I really didn't feel right today. When I woke up, I felt really weird, like I had a slight fever. I had a headache. So it's been kind of a nasty day. I just haven't felt good. I really, if I had some type of a sedative, I would take that. Because I know that would take the edge off and I would probably feel like $1,000,000. So maybe my wife has something to give me when she gets home. She's holding some sedatives for me that I got for another problem I had, anxiety thing. So probably take one of those and enjoy my evening and sleep like a baby. But that's pretty much it. tdap is you're in for a sore arm. And if you're just getting back into the medical thing, if you're joining the wonderful world of constant doctor visits, keep in mind you're the patient. Don't let them do anything to you that you don't want. Educate yourself. Make sure you Google all the medicine that you're going to take and look into the bad side effects. I mean, you can do it blindly, but me, I tend to have all the weird side effect and hypersensitive reactions and stuff. So that's the fun that my life is. The one thing you have to keep in mind is finding a doctor who's compatible, meaning sympathetic to you. If you've got a cocky doctor or any kind of healthcare professional who you don't feel comfortable with, you need to get them out of the room. Just refuse treatment from them. Say, I want to see somebody else, because you can't. You very well can do that. I had a thing, a whole nother story I won't get into, but it was a nightmare guy that I had that was a anesthesiologist, and I found out later he had an unbelievable reputation at this hospital for getting into fights with patients, because he's just he's that type of person. So if you run into something like that, you need to do your best to report that so other people don't have to deal with it, and make sure you don't run into that same guy again. That was the thing for me. I was going back for another procedure, and they were going to sign me up with that guy. And I said, no. I already told you once. I did my dance with that guy, and I'm not doing it again. Not after what he did to me, which was really, really bad. Anyway, you guys, good thoughts, good words, good deeds. I'm nursing the sore arm. Owie. I know I sound like a baby. Hey, you get a tdap shot and tell me how good it feels for you. Like my wife, she said it didn't bother her that much. She can stand like green pus shooting out of the sink when she's doing dishes. There's so much bacteria in it. You know, women are built differently. They're built to have diarrhea shot into their nostrils when they're changing diapers and not really care. You know, she rotten food and stuff doesn't phase her. You know, I'm like, holy shit, what's that smell? Light an incense. As soon as she opens the fridge, and to her, she's like, I don't smell anything. So yeah, she's tough and didn't complain about her tdap. But I don't think her body reacted to it, or maybe the nurse she got was like, you know what, you do it really slow. I'm not sure. I would really love to know. Does that slow shot, does that give you any less soreness the next day? Or is that just going in? Probably just going in, right? Either way, I get these trigger point injections. Ooh, that's fun. If you ever had a trigger point injection, let me know how that feels for you. All right, you guys, be healthy and peace.